Hi guys, it's Charlie here. If you're looking to protect your future with gold or silver, pick the region you're in and choose one of our trusted partners.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 28th of April, 2026, and so much is out there that's all part of this movie. And I've told you so many times, it's a movie. The evidence is there when you're awake. Drew and I have many conversations when things happen, and then suddenly you see everything very clearly. There are those, of course, who live in the dark and they believe everything is absolutely real. But this is a scripted movie. You were told 4 or 5 years ago to get your popcorn, sit down and watch the movie. Some of you can't sit down. Some of you keep popping up. Everything is out there to distract from the collapse of the old financial system, whether it's the war in Ukraine, whether it's the attacks in Venezuela, or whether it's Iran and Israel. Everything is distraction, 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 as the old system is being completely collapsed. And whilst it's being collapsed, people are going to be held accountable. None more so than what we saw over the weekend, where hospitals were delivered with envelopes, sealed envelopes with information inside there. Information that's warning them that a lot of the drugs that they've been prescribing to people are doing more damage than good. And they are being banned. They are being stopped. This is going to affect Big Pharma on a grand scale, because no longer can they push out these drugs which are not helping people at all. And in a very simple statement of fact, God gave us everything, and I mean everything, that we'll ever need for healing. We just got to work it out. But because we were lazy and we didn't want to work it out, we couldn't be bothered to work it out, we kept running to the doctors. And the doctors were making lots of money by prescribing things. And without prescribing things that makes you worse, they wouldn't have a job. They need you to be sick for them to have a job. Otherwise, when the med beds come out, they have no need. Then all you'll need is surgeons who repair broken legs and broken bones and damage that can't be just cured with a med bed. There are certain things that need surgeons to operate. But what we've fallen into the trap of is the medication. That a lot of people have become addicted to the medication. It's time to stop. It's time to wake up. It's time to realize we have got everything in nature to heal us. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. My first story of the day is India and New Zealand have signed a new free trade agreement to strengthen economic ties and expand market access. The deal is expected to cut tariffs, boost exports, and create fresh opportunities in agriculture, technology, and investment. Leaders from both countries say it marks a major step forward to trade and long-term growth.
Well, these are all very, very good things. When you've got trade agreements between countries like India and New Zealand, it'll be nice to see the old kangaroo hopping around India. That'll be fun. But that's just a joke, by the way. There are plenty of other things that they can do amazing trade with, because both countries have things that the other country doesn't have that will benefit one another. For as long as I've been around, and that's 65, nearly 66 years, the markets have been controlled by certain countries. Now, other countries are starting to talk to one another without having to go through the US corporation, the EU corporation, the UK corporation. They're starting to talk to one another. And this is a massive step forward, and this is all part of, you've heard it before, a level playing field. The old corporations are being dismantled. And every time I hear these comments, well, Donald Trump lost that one, and Donald Trump is dismantling the US corporation from the inside out. I've told you before, what will survive is America. North, South, Central. America will become great again. Make America great again. Not make the US great again. The US corporation, those days are over. The UK corporation, those days are over. The EU corporation, those days are over. NATO, your days are over. The UN, your days are over. Things are moving forward. I shared something this morning. The trillions of dollars that the audit in the US has failed. The Treasury has failed an audit for trillions of dollars for the 8th consecutive time. If you and I did that, we'd land up in prison. And not for a few years, probably for life. They cannot account for trillions of dollars. And they want another 1.5 trillion for something else. You can't make this stuff up. When you've got irresponsible people at the helm, the money's just disappearing. The trouble is, when you print money and it keeps disappearing, they don't care. But what makes it evil is the general public are expected to pay it back in higher taxes. I don't know quite who to, because I've asked this question many times. Is it payable back to the printers? Because it's not backed by anything. It's just on the screen. It's time for you to wake up. Drew.
My next story, Charlie, and it's a heart filler, this one. Trafalgar Square, London was packed as thousands of young Christians gathered in a powerful public display of faith. Many are calling it one of Britain's biggest youth Christian turnouts in decades, challenging claim that faith is dying. The night ended in silence, then a huge chant echoed across London. Something's definitely shifting.
It certainly is, and it's a wonderful story because the UK is waking up. It is waking up, and it's waking up to realise that if you get away from God, you lose everything. You lose everything. And the British people are waking up to the fact that they need God in their lives. And right now, everything that's happening in the world, we cannot do by ourselves. We need divine intervention. And it's biblical. The Christian uprising is happening not just in the UK, it's happening in Iran. And that's in the Bible. There's a massive uprising of Christianity in Iran. It was told us in the Bible and it's now happening. And that's a very, very positive thing to come out of Iran. Don't believe the rubbish you're seeing on the mainstream media and television and the newspapers. That's all BS. If you want to know the truth, join me at charlieward.com, join the Insiders Club, and more importantly right now, you need to get your friends to join the Insiders Club before it's too late, because many, many people are getting scammed. And we're keeping you informed as to what's a scam and what's not. We've got a lot of members who become members after they've been scammed. I'd much rather you joined us before you got scammed so you don't get scammed. Join us at charlieward.com. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays we spend with our families, as we should do. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.